Elegantly rebellious and heir to Italy's famous Fiat family, Lapo Elkann is known for his innovative designs, fashion, flair and colourful personal life. So to discuss what life's like in the fast lane, I'm joined by Lapo Elkann on The Global Conversation. Lapo, many thanks.
Thank you very much. How are you?
Good.
It's good to have you in Milan.
Could you tell me, what's it been like growing up as part of this dynasty, this Agnelli dynasty, Italy's first family as it's known?
Today, if I have to speak of myself, I would speak about Lapo and not about Elkann or Agnelli or the dynasty or the family business, because the truth is my life is something else.
Has it been a hard reputation to live up to, though, as you were growing up?
I wouldn't say it's been a hard reputation. I would say it's been an interesting ladder to have to compare to and a fun ladder to have to climb. Because the reality is I created my own ladder to have to climb compared to the one my family has created for itself. People think that things come easily. The reality is you can have a name, a surname, you can have a big bank account, but the truth is if you build something, if what you build doesn't have substance, on the long run, you're dead.
So we asked our online audience to send us in questions for this interview, and we received this question from Kevin Borg, and he wants to know, what's your greatest passion? Is it for cars, is it for fashion and style, or Juventus? Do you have a favourite?
Yes, cars.
You are known for being instrumental in the design of the new Fiat 500, but you subsequently left Fiat. How difficult a decision was that?
The 500 was a great achievement. A great achievement, I would say, professionally, personally, for me and for the team who worked on it, because...
But did you not want to stay after you and kind of carry on working with Fiat afterwards?
You know, I've never left Fiat. Because I remain largest shareholder of the company with my brother and my sister. So, as a shareholder, I've never left Fiat. And as a supporter, I've never left Fiat. As an entrepreneur, I'm extremely happy of having built my own, because if I wouldn't have built my own, I wouldn't know what are the satisfaction of being capable and able of something yours, and not something that you inherited.
As you said, you're an entrepreneur at heart and you travel immensely, a lot between Europe and the US. Given these difficult economic times, what lessons do you think we can learn from each other in terms of entrepreneurship?
What I take from the US is pragmatism. It's to cut the crap and to be direct, which sadly in Europe I see less. What I take from Europe is, how do you say, the passion, and I would say more than from Europe, from Italy, the passion and the enthusiasm in the phase of development and creativity of a product or a project, but without order, organization, discipline and structure, which means building a company and having right people and right teams, you don't deliver.
You work with young people. What would your advice be to young entrepreneurs? Life
gave me opportunities and chances which most probably other young people don't have and haven't had. So it's very easy to talk from this very comfortable chair I'm talking from. My humble advice to young people is, first of all, to be prepared, because the work world is a war world. So it means if you think you have a great idea, there's always someone who has a better one than yours. So prepare to fight. And fight doesn't mean war, it means challenge yourself. It means if you think that you're well prepared, there's always someone better prepared than you. If you think that your idea is smart, further develop it, because there's always someone who's going to have more content than what you're bringing on the market. And if you can fight your battles as a team, it's easier than alone. If you're French and you have an opportunity to learn or grasp or grow in the US, go for it. If you have an opportunity in China, go for it. More international your youth is, stronger your opportunities can be.
Which brings me to a question we received from Carolita, who said, what are your predictions for Italy's future, its youth, and made in Italy?
For Italian Independent Group, we have reached very big goals, I would say, starting from where we started. We started from nothing 5 years ago. We went public in June. What we promised, we delivered. What we stated, we did. And when we stated things, we tried always to do better than what we said. I prefer to say that my wish and hope is to succeed using created, crafted, and conceived in Italy, because the word made in is very poor to me. It means nothing. It's simply factories.
You're very keen on customization. Do you see that as a way ahead when we're looking in, if we look at terms of style, trend setting?
In today's world, it's no longer a might have, it's you have to have. And
but can everyone have?
It depends on who you are. But differentiation is something that a waiter wants and a cleaning lady wants. It's not a matter of where you stand socially in terms of salary. It's a matter that everyone has dreams and everyone has goals, and everyone is entitled to have them.
You're considered as this style icon, globally recognized as such. And we received this question from Joe, who says, what was your first sartorial inspiration, your first style inspiration?
I would say that the first sartorial inspiration to me was the drawings of the cars that Scaglietti did, which was un carrozziere, which was a car designer. And he designed the shapes of vintage and old Ferraris with double-tone color cars. And certain colors of the cars were colors I applied on clothes and on other products who had nothing to do with the automotive industry. But the truth is,
bringing together two worlds.
Cross-contamination is a key element in my work as an entrepreneur and as a creative. I like to bring industries who never talk to each other to talk to each other.
Football, you're currently involved in a documentary on the family team, Juventus. Tell me a little bit about that. Is it going to be gritty reality, or is it a romanticized version of the history of the team?
And first and foremost is Juventus is a team who has been part of the legacy of a family since a very long time, a very long while. I would say more than 100 years. And this documentary will show many traits of the sport part, the happy part, the sad part, the winning part, the deaths, there's everything.
What about off the football field? Match fixing. Did your family ever reconsider their relationship with Juventus when the team was engulfed in all these scandals?
I think you should see the movie. And I think that if you look well at what has come out on the media and also on the news, you will see very clearly that Juventus came out not as bad as many other teams, and Juventus, to the difference of other teams, came back, as the Phoenix, to the difference of other teams.
Let's go back a bit. What about your experience with Henry Kissinger? You were his PA in 2001 for a year. How did you hit it off? Because on the outside of it, you wouldn't seem to be like two characters who'd necessarily get along.
Henry Kissinger has been probably the most important mentor I've had, and it's probably professionally someone who has taught me more than anyone else. It's someone I will be grateful to always. It's someone I owe a lot to, personally and professionally. And it's someone who has been unbelievable as a boss, but also unbelievable as a friend in probably the worst period of my life, which was the death of my grandfather, and which was a very complicated moment of my personal life.
What would you say was the biggest lesson you drew
Can I
from
be
it?
very honest with you? The beauty of certain relationships is that you can still keep them private and not share them on camera or on paper.
It's true, your life is really played out in a lot of the gossip magazines. You really plunged quite low, pretty low in 2005, when you nearly died from a drug overdose. Was that necessary in some respects for you to have the kickstart to make you who you are now?
I would not say that it was necessary. Because sadness, drama, and certain things are not necessary. And luckily it's the past and it's over. But the truth, I would say that no pain, no gain. You know, it seems a very stupid motto and very easy to apply. But the reality is, if you don't go through difficulties, you don't understand the joys of life. I'm not saying you need to go through those, and I wouldn't wish that not even to my worst enemy. But the reality is, as I have gone through those, and as it's part of my history and it's part of my luggage, I have no shame in it. It's part of my life. It's part of who I was. And it's part of my past.
Which brings me to probably a very difficult issue. You recently became public about child sex abuse. What made you decide that this was the time to speak about it?
The reality is that thing was creating me irritation out of certain aspects and out of certain things in my life. And I said, if I speak about it, it can help others. So, in a way or another, it's also when you have an advantage to have a lot, you need to give back more than normal people. And giving back is also taking, how do you say, leadership, not only in a company, not only in your family, but also of who you are, as a history, as a personality, as an individual, and as a life. And if in your life, your parcours de vie can help or support others, it is important to do so. And that is the reason and the choice of why I did, you know.
So you're saying you've taken leadership of your life now. What can we expect of you now, say in the next 10 years?
A lot. If God allows me to go forward 10 years, and if life allows me to go forward 10 years, I think that with all the humility in the world, sky is the limit. Life is made of two things. I have done a lot in my professional life. My personal life, I think there's certain things I still yet have to do that I hope I will do in the next 10, which is kids maybe, and finding the right woman, which hasn't been my strongest skill in my 36 years of my existence. But professionally, I would say I have zero fear, and I don't have doubts that if I want what I'm dreaming of and what I want, I can achieve. You know.
Lapo Elkann,
thank you very much.
many thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.